Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to tackle something super important but often misunderstood, your car's electrical system. And look, in just the next few minutes, you're going to get exactly how it works, why it sometimes doesn't, and what you can do about it.
Okay, so let's jump right in with a situation that's, well, it's just frustratingly common, right? You get in your car, you turn the key, and nothing. Silence. So what's going on? Well, the answer almost always points back to just three key components that have to work together perfectly. And it often starts with a sound that I think we all know and we all absolutely hate. Yeah, that dreaded, repetitive click, click, click that basically just tells you, nope, you're not going anywhere today. But here's the thing, that sound, it's not just the sound of a dead car. It's actually a signal. It's your car's electrical system trying to do its job but failing. And that very specific noise, well, that's a huge clue that tells us what has gone wrong.
So, to really get to the bottom of this, we've got to shift our thinking a little bit. Instead of focusing on individual parts, let's think of it as a whole system, a continuous flowing power cycle that's basically the heartbeat of your car.
You know, here's something that most people just don't realize. Your car literally has its own power plant running inside it. I mean, every single time you drive, it's constantly generating, storing, and using electricity in this really elegant self-sustaining loop. And this is that loop. It's a beautiful four-step cycle. Check it out. Step 1, the battery starts the engine. Step 2, the running engine spins the alternator. Step 3, that alternator powers everything in the car. And Step 4, the alternator recharges the battery, getting it all set for the next time you need it. The key thing to remember is, if just one of these steps fails, the whole cycle just rakes.
All right, so now that we get the cycle, let's meet the three key players that make it all happen. We're going to focus on the one primary job that each of them has, because it really simplifies everything.
Okay, first up, the battery. And right away, let's clear up a huge misconception. A lot of people think the battery powers the car while you're driving. Nope. That's not its main job at all. Really, its job is to be the launch pad. It provides one massive initial burst of energy to get the engine started. And after that, it pretty much takes a back seat.
See, once that engine is humming along, the alternator takes over. This is the car's primary power plant when it's running. It's basically a little generator that creates all the electricity your car needs for the lights, the radio, the AC, you name it. And while it's doing all that, it's also sending power back to the battery to top it off for the next startup.
Now this is pretty cool. That number you see, around 14.5 volts, that's what a healthy alternator should be putting out. It needs to be somewhere between about 13.5 and 14.8 volts, really. That's the perfect sweet spot. It's high enough to run everything and recharge the battery, but not so high that it's going to fry all your sensitive electronics.
And that brings us to our third player, the starter. If the alternator is the power plant, the starter is definitely the muscle. It's this incredibly powerful little electric motor, and it has only one job that lasts for maybe a second or two. It takes all that energy from the battery and uses it to physically spin the engine to life. Make no mistake, this is by far the most power-hungry moment for your entire car.
And just to put that into perspective for you, 600 amps. That's a massive amount of power it draws for just a split second. And that huge sudden demand is exactly why a weak battery fails at this moment. You know, as batteries get older, they just can't hold that strong of a charge anymore, and they simply can't deliver that much juice all at once.
So, what does this all mean for you? Well, the most important takeaway here is learning to read the symptoms when one of these players fails. Because the specific problem your car is having, it's like a direct clue pointing you to the component that's causing all the trouble.
Think of this as your diagnostic cheat sheet. The details here are everything. For example, that rapid click, 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 that's a weak battery that just doesn't have enough juice to turn the starter. But what if you hear just one loud clunk or click? That often means the starter itself has failed. And here's a big one. If your car dies while you are driving, that is almost always a failing alternator because the battery alone just can't keep a modern car running for very long.
But hey, the good news is that this isn't all doom and gloom. A little bit of prevention really does go a long, long way. There are a few super simple things you can do to keep this whole electrical cycle healthy and, avoid getting stranded somewhere.
And I'm serious. These are simple checks pretty much anyone can do. For starters, take a look at your battery terminals and clean off any of that fuzzy corrosion you see. Second, once your battery hits that 3-year mark, get it tested every year. They just don't last much longer than 5 years these days. And finally, please never, ever ignore that little battery warning light on your dash. That's not your battery talking to you, that's your alternator screaming for help. So there you have it. Now you can actually decode those frustrating sounds, and you really understand the system, the electrical heart of your car. It's not a mystery anymore. So the only question left to ask is, how healthy is yours? Thanks for tuning in.